It's Career Fair Day here at Morris Hills Regional High School here in Rockaway, New Jersey. And I'm here with a bunch of other vendors, and we're going to talk about what it is to be X in your business. And tonight they invited me to talk about being a realtor. Now, I know you guys all think it's about opening doors and, writing contracts and throwing a sign in the front yard, but it's so much more than that. As I was putting this together, I was thinking, big deal, so what? What's important to these high school seniors that would make them want to be a realtor, and what skills is it that they can use? So I have a table here. Of course, most of you know that if nobody knows who you are, then no one's going to call you, right? If you're Aunt Jean, who's been a realtor forever and does a periodic home sale, she might not be up to date on all the contracts and regulations and the industry trends that are out there in the marketplace today. So being a realtor is more than just, like I said, putting up signs and writing contracts. It is, you can be a digital marketer. You can produce your own videos, make your own content, market them on social media, all the social media platforms, including YouTube, which is up and coming. You can also write a book, write your own book and send this out and work with attorneys. You can also, if you are a graphic artist, right? You use your graphic arts skills. You can also be a social media manager, graphic artist, social media manager. If you don't want to be in the front, in selling real estate, or you can be behind the scenes marketing, because that's really needed too. So this would be a flyer, send it out through EDDM, which is like bulk mail, and make sure that you start to get your name out there in the marketplace. And when people are ready to make a move, hopefully they call you, right? We also have, so marketing, you have digital media, social media, print marketing, you have, again, online. We also have, copywriting, and AI is huge and can help you in writing your content, especially when you're doing long form video and you need to know like stats on what's going on in the marketplace, right? But that's where sales comes in, because when you're a salesperson, it's not, the negative connotation that everybody thinks as a salesperson, but we all need salespeople to sell things, or else no company would be in business today. So sales is first and foremost for real estate is understanding your customer, right? And being compassionate, because buying and selling real estate is probably one of the most important and biggest financial transactions that people will make in their lives. So you need to be able to listen to their concerns and help them, guide them to the next step, right? And today it's really difficult because people that want to or are thinking about selling their home are concerned because where will I go? But it's just like with anything else in life. Once you make up your mind and make a decision that you want to, do X, and you commit to it, all of the doors open up and the pathway becomes clear. It's the same with real estate. Once you commit to making a move, whether it's buying or selling, then all the doors open up and you will find that next place to move to. So you need to, again, in sales, be compassionate and help your client understand, what's going on in the marketplace. So you need to know about industry trends, right? So you need to be up to date on, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Some of you may have seen me before say that the median home price in Morris County from March 2020, just 5 short years ago, until December of 2024, really hasn't changed through February, has increased 51% in just 5 years. That's incredible. That's 10% per year, when the average is somewhere between 3 and 5% per year. We've also, now why is that? That's because homes available from sale went from 3,300 down to like 408, a drop of 88%, 88% in just 5 years. So every time that shiny new toy called a home comes on the market, you have all the new buyers running out after that shiny new toy, which is why you see all these bidding wars and the prices skyrocket. So you need to know this. You need to know what's going on in your marketplace. And you also need to know what's going on in the economy, right? Because real estate doesn't operate in a vacuum. It's not just home prices, which is a big part of it. Now you understand why the home prices went up, because there's no available inventory, right? But people need to be employed. So you need to know what's going on in the economy. Are people employed? What's the unemployment rate? What are interest rates? You need to know what's going on, because if people aren't employed, it doesn't matter what the interest rate is, they're not going to be able to get a loan and buy a house. You're also going to need strategy when you talk to your clients about selling their home. So some of the things that we talk about would be seller or pricing methodology, right? So when everybody's a realtor, I know a lot of sellers say, I want what Susie got down the street last year. They got $650 for their house, and my house is better, and my yard's better, and da 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 da. And I want what they got. But this year in 2025, it's a very different market than it was in 2024. So what we need to do is make sure that we understand current market trends, right? Again, being up to date on what's going on in the marketplace. And here, this pricing triangle says that if you price your home at market value, you are going to attract 90% of the homeowner or the buyers that are out there in the marketplace. The higher you price your home, the fewer buyers you're going to get, and the longer it's going to take to sell your home. When you price your home here at market value, just like anything else, buyers always recognize a good value, and they will compete for that house, which is why we're seeing what we do. And this graph down here says a lot of buyers out there with pre-approvals in their hand. If your home doesn't sell in 2 weeks, then you're overpriced. And that's what this says. 2 weeks, your house is on the market. Everybody's going to run to it because there's limited inventory or no inventory in Morris County. And if your home isn't sold in 2 weeks, it's because it's priced too high. So you need to know all of these stats and be able to share it with both your buyer and your seller. There's all kinds of other things that we have here, buyer checklists, a list of buyer what not to do. Like when you're looking to buy a house, don't go buy that furniture before you close. Don't take out a new car payment. Don't lend money to anyone where you have to sign. Like all of those things are like, no, 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 no. Don't do any of those things. I can help you out with the other 7 if you want. And then there's also, of course, trinkets. So we have, little pads here. We have squeegee houses, squeegees, pens, magnets, all kinds of trinkets. So at the end of the day, it's really important that if you would like to start a career in real estate, you can do it. Some of the skills that you need, again, would be marketing, print marketing, digital marketing. If you like to do video marketing. If you want to be behind the scenes, you can be a video editor. You can be a social media manager. If you'd like to be in sales, then of course you need to know industry trends, strategy, key metrics. You need to work with customer relationship management tools. Automation is everything. And be personable, right? And compassionate, and understand where your client is coming from. Project management would also be a key skill that you would need to use, because even though real estate and being a realtor has a flexible schedule, you know what? You need to know where every deal is at every point, because you can get a call at any time, down the shore, at home, in front of your desk, in the car, who knows? But you need to know what's going on and be organized. If you want to know more, I'm happy to help you talk about real estate and what's going on out there in the marketplace, because this is what I love. And when you love what you do, people love what you do. I'm Claudia at Morris County Homes with Claudia. And remember, who you work with matters. See ya.